Welcome to the Center for the Performing Arts at Penn State. I'm Communications Director Laura Sullivan, and you're on stage with PreViews.
Life isn't always choreographed. Sometimes you have to freestyle.
Bradley Shooz Rapier was thinking of a career in medicine when hip-hop entered his life. Instead of becoming a doctor, Rapier created the Groovaloos dance troupe. Today, he's co-creator and director of choreography for the Groovaloos stage show. PreViews writer Jennifer Pencek speaks with Rapier about his drastic shift in career choice. He also discusses the Groovaloos' true-life depictions of abuse, low self-esteem, pursuit of dreams, and hip-hop street dancing.
I think you founded that group in 1999, is that right?
Yes, by the time I got established, starting to be working as a dancer and a little bit as a choreographer was by about 96. And I always had these ideas of from how I learned about the dance, the distance I had from the dance, I had this sort of different approach to it. And it really was magical to me because I wasn't deep in the culture, kind of maybe, seeing it in a different way. I was kind of hearing it as a sort of legendary thing. It was always very magical and wonderful to me how I perceived it and how the dance was. So when I came here, I had all these ideas of how to present the dance in that way that it was in my brain. And so I sort of varied in ideas. I had this sort of idea for the Groovaloos that my wife, she's my wife now, we weren't married then, but my wife and another friend Lionel, three of us talked about in 96. We sort of did a few little things. There's sort of a mini Groovaloo thing with one of the original members named Allison that we call Al Star. So we had this initial idea, went for a few months, and then my one friend moved away, so we kind of just buried it for a minute. And then through work that I was doing with different people as a dancer and or choreographer for different companies like Skechers and different shoe companies and tours and stuff, I was meeting a lot of people. And we were having our groove nights, what I call groove nights. These are weekly jams that I've had for years for people just to come and just put not a class, just freestyle and hang out. So a certain amount of us started to become friends through that. At auditions, I would call certain people to come hang out. And then in 99, I was asked there's a pretty legendary dance choreographer, not historian, what's the word? His name's Joe Germain, but he's been around for years in dance. He has conventions, he's taught and danced with some of the legends back in the day. And he put on an event that Debbie Allen hosted called National Dance Day in 1999. And I built a relationship with him, and he said, Bradley, choreographed the finale. So I put together, I said, let's launch this idea with these new sort of this bigger group. It was 11 of us that day, and let's do this Groovalooo thing that was based off the ideas I'd done a few years ago, plus the work I've been doing, working with this famous b-boy named B-Boy Flow last year, and him and I sort of choreographed a certain style of stuff, and we put up a show in spring of 99 and had a new feel. That's a whole other story, but it had a certain style to it that just worked, and people kind of woke up and went, oh my gosh, this is great, and I was like, oh, excited, and the Groovaloos were formed. I want to clarify one thing just so it doesn't get misdone, is that I founded the Groovaloos. So the Groovaloos are one entity. There's this group, which is now there's 27, 28 members in the Groovaloos company, and we do a series of things. And then we have our stage show that's coming to your city. And the stage show is called Groovalooo, with sort of the underscore freestyle or get in the circle. But Groovalooo is the show, and it's called that because it's about the Groovaloos, but of course not the whole group comes as 14 of us on stage. But the Groovalooo stage show, I'm not the only creator. I created it with the director, Danny Stone. So we put it together in collaboration with the Groovaloos. So it was a very collaborative effort, so I don't want to falsely take credit for creating the whole thing.
Great. With the upcoming performance here, what can people kind of expect from it?
In terms of the stage show, besides the dynamics they're going to see, it is this style of dance. It's very explosive. It's people spinning on their heads, it's flipping, it's gliding across the stage. It's girls just being, really funky and just, expressing themselves in a powerful way with the music. And so there's that whole dynamic visually that's happening. But what I think is a big thing that comes out of the show that I think may be different from most people and that has captured people so far is that we work to be authentic in the dance and show the true heart of the dance style. And the separation is that for many people, what they know from the hip-hop dance culture is, through rap videos or concerts where many times, not to cut them down, but it's not necessarily the hip-hop dance culture. It's rude or it's crass, and it's this whole thing that has nothing to do with the dance culture. The dance culture is the melting to the music, and that you see that unique expression in everybody that just kind of unites people and inspires everybody. So on that level alone, when you come to the show and you think you may be getting this wall of sound and screaming at you because you think it's a hip hop show, it's not that. The show's it's gonna suck you in, invite you in, because we're bringing you into our culture in a way that we experience it. It is the true story of our group. Everything you're going to hear through voiceover and spoken word and the visuals actually happen. Nothing, and so I won't say we're so unique that these are stories you've never heard before. They're common themes. This person has a self-esteem issue. This person had problems with abusive, maybe parent. This one, my own character had a certain course in his life he was, quote, supposed to take, and he totally rocked the boat to change to pursue something that was capturing his heart and spirit. And then we had tragedy that happened in our group. Someone actually was injured in gunfire, stray bullets by gang members. So things happened that it may be cliche, but they're actual real facts that we present as a way for you to then see how dance, as a metaphor for life, helped us to see ourselves in a different way and continue on. And then how we formed as a group, and now as a group is how we push forward, even though we don't have all the answers.
With your background, I know that you kind of mentioned, going in one path, then it kind of changed. I know that in your bio it says that you were pursuing a career in medicine, but then that drastically changed, obviously. So what kind of made you kind of shift gears in that way?
Long story short, a guy in school came in and started dancing, and I saw it really up close at one of the high school dances in my 11th or 12th year, and just was like, what? And then I started just messing around with it a little bit, then got involved in his company, it was like a crew, 4 guys, and they started to just open it up to me, like by videos they played me. It wasn't like, there was no YouTube, it was just videos and showing me this stuff and teaching me what popping was, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so we just started messing around with it, became very popular in our city. We actually became like a pretty well known. We had our, hands put on Samantha on the sidewalk. We did all the TV shows and commercials in our city. For our city. It wasn't like and then we did national stuff, but it was kind of like a hobby, fun thing. And then I just started getting to where I had to make the decision: am I going to sort of take that step to go into the pre-med program fully, as opposed to just the Bachelor of Science program for it? And it was one of those things where I finally got that moment, that eureka thing, like that my friends had in grade 7 and 10 when they knew they wanted to be something. I didn't know how to do it, but I said, I want to do this. And that's when I went on my search. I went to New York and to LA and just tried to get closer to the culture, and ended up here and then forming a group of all things.
Tickets are on sale for Groovalooo February 11th, 2010 at Eisenhower Auditorium. Order online at www.cpa.psu.edu or by phone at 1-800-ARTS-TIX. For the Center for the Performing Arts, I'm Laura Sullivan.